How are we doing?
Yeah, not bad, you?
Yeah, good mate. How you been?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Rocking the Young shorts.
Oh yeah, we'll have to get them off, mate. Right, this guy is my friend Curtis, and I want to get him jacked. Again. Let me explain. So 6 months ago, this guy was playing football, hitting the gym, and he looked, frankly, sick. Like, look at these photos. He's got a decent amount of muscle, he's fairly shredded as well, and he's got a pretty solid physique for a 20-year-old guy. However, the worst thing that can happen to a gym lad happened to Curtis. Whilst playing football, he basically ripped his shoulder in two. Well, the scientific term is actually a grade 3 acromioclavicular separation. And as you can see in his x-ray, this bone right here should be completely attached to the other one, but it's just been completely ripped away. Like, that is not where it should be at all. And basically what that meant is that he could not play football or go to the gym for 6 months. Now, for those that know, I've had a pec injury and I've been off the gym for a month and a half and I already feel awful, so I cannot imagine how bad that felt for him to do half a year. But nevertheless, 6 months later, he went back to the doctors. They gave him the all clear, which meant that he could finally start going to the gym again. However, he didn't just want to do an average return to the gym. He wanted to go all in and see what kind of transformation, what kind of comeback he could make in 60 days. So he came to me and asked for a bit of help. Now, what do I know? Well, I'm certainly not the biggest guy in the world, but in the past, I have got myself into fairly decent shape. I've been going to the gym 5 years and I'd like to think that I know what I'm doing. I'm pretty confident in my knowledge, and honestly, I think I can get Curtis wham in 60 days. And I think I can get him looking insane, and we're gonna give it all we've got. So you used to go gym, didn't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
And then you got injured?
Yeah, I dislocated my AC joint in my left shoulder.
When was that? How long did it take you to recover?
That was in about March, and then I only got released from hospital about a month ago.
But now you can go crazy.
Yeah,
you can do whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. But you're ready to get back into it, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%. I really want to get back into it and see what I can do.
So today, what I want to do, I want to get you 1 rep maxes. I want to see what you're looking like, and I want to see how much you weigh as well.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Just try and get as heavy as possible, strong as possible, and look as good as possible.
100%.
Yeah. Ready? Let's do it, boys.
Wow.
But before I saw what Curtis looked like, how strong he was, and how much he weighed, I wanted to make sure that he had all the supplements that he could possibly need in the next 60 days. In terms of protein shakes and whatnot, protein bars, prize.
Oh, come on. Cheers, mate.
There's a Rice Krispie Squares bar from My Protein, so that should sort you out.
Cheers, buddy.
I'm joking. I've got a £150 voucher for you, and you can have whatever you want.
Are you lying?
No, I'm not.
Are you lying?
I've got a code for you.
No way.
Kit yourself out. Protein, creatine, pre-workout, electrolytes, whatever the f you need. Get yourself some clothes.
Appreciate that,
Yeah,
man. Thank
no
you.
worries.
You're actually being serious?
Yeah, man. I'm not just doing it for the video.
Good one, dude.
Obviously, big shout out to My Protein for hooking me up so I can hook up with this guy. Full transparency, I am sponsored by My Protein. However, if I wasn't, I would still be getting this guy's supplements from there, because to me, it's just obviously that they are the best. So yeah, if you're ever shopping at My Protein, use code HAL. It really helps me out, and I always appreciate it when I see that you boys are using my code. That being said, we have just arrived at the gym. Let's go see how strong Curtis is on day 1 of this transformation.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it will be interesting. So first things first, we tested Curtis's max pull-ups, and he got 6. Now, initially, I thought that was a little bit low, but then I thought someone that hasn't been to the gym in 6 months, so they've basically reverted into what they were before they ever went to the gym. He also didn't really have that much of an appetite, so I guess it kind of made sense. Then we went over to the squat, and Curtis slowly made his way up to 70 kilograms. When we got there, I put a stop to it. I didn't want him to go any higher because I didn't want the form to be sacrificed in order to get a heavier weight. So we left it at a respectable 70. And finally, we went over to the bench press. And again, he worked his way up to 50 kilograms, and I thought that was extremely respectable. And then we went over to the scales and got his weight, 58.9 kilograms. Do we want to set a goal weight for the end of the 60 days?
Is that, are you feeling this?
Yeah.
Is it outrageous to put on 10 kilos in 60 days, though?
I would be surprised if you put on 10 kilos, but I think it's doable. With the right program, eat loads, good supplementation, I reckon you could do it.
Reckon?
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a good target, yeah?
8 to 10.
8 to 10.
8 to
8 to 10 kilos. That's what we want. And then finally, we needed to see what Curtis looked like. And as you can see on the screen, it's kind of exactly what you'd expect from someone that doesn't go to the gym. However, I also thought it was a really good starting point. Like, he's quite lean. Hopefully all the muscle that he puts on will be shown relatively easily. So you've had a little first session. It wasn't like a serious session, but you're ready to go, aren't you? Yeah. After today. What we're gonna do now is he's gonna go through, get everything that he needs for the next 60 days.
What, so I've got to choose?
You can choose whatever you want. I just need you to have enough whey protein, enough creatine. That's it really, protein and creatine. Anything else, bars, I suggest the protein wafers because they're pang.
The 2.5 of protein.
2.5 kilos of protein, a kilo of creatine. A shaker, protein bars and pre-workout.
Yeah.
That's what he's ordering now. And that will get you sorted, mate.
Yeah.
So, let me tell you the game plan. This essentially comes down to two simple parts, the diet and the training plan. In terms of diet, I've told Curtis to eat 3,000 calories at the beginning. I've also told him that I want him to eat 170 grams of protein a day, which is more than your typical 1 gram per pound of body weight. However, this is only 60 days. I want every little advantage that we can get. And if that means eating a bit more protein, then so be it. And that's it. Calories and protein is all I care about. And then we have the training plan.
Split am I doing? I've not trained legs in many a long time, so.
I think push-pull legs, push-pull, because you're not as fussed with your legs.
Yeah.
Which I can't blame you because I'm the same. If you go crazy on that one leg day, that will be more than enough anyway, because your legs are a big muscle group. And we can focus on the stuff like the aesthetics, the strength of your upper body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So later that day, I went ahead and designed this custom plan. And it is essentially a push-pull legs upper-lower split. However, again, I want as much progress as possible. So I've thrown in a low-intensity arm day right in the middle of the week, just to push him that little bit more and give him every little advantage he can have. All right, it's officially day one. Let's get this transformation started.
That's fine. Is that fucking heavy?
I mean, there's 2.5.
Oh my god!
2.5 kilos of protein in it, mate. How was your first session?
It's not as good as I wanted it to be, but because it's the first session.
First session
it's
in.
always gonna be.
Wafers, protein bars.
Oh,
fairs.
It's bigger than my whole fucking head.
Yeah, like I said, day one complete. That is it for this day one video, I guess. Start of hopefully a very successful journey for this guy right here. But yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. If you liked it, please remember to like and subscribe. Use code HAL at MyProtein and code HAL10 at Gymshark. And yeah, boys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.